Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Team Daddy Weekly Recap. I am your host, Shapiro the Hero, aka Daddy Dreidels. From draft night 4 short months ago, we are now down to just 2 teams looking to take home the title and be called Daddy. Ironically enough, the 2 guys left are already called Daddy, but it's not the same when it comes from a group of 30-year-old men. We also had our annual toilet bowl this week, and it looks like Cheese's police uniform may see some unwanted action. We'll go around the league looking at scores and stats, and I'll have a preview of our championship matchup next week. But as always, we start with a word from our sponsor. This week's sponsor is Drano. When you have a clogged toilet, backed up with all kinds of crap, break out the Drano and let your toilet do its thing. We'll switch things up a bit this week, and we'll start a recap off at the bottom. In our battle for the basement, our face-off of feces, we had last place Cheese taking on the 11 seed Kyle in the toilet bowl. And in the end, our defending champ was able to save a little face and come away with a win, 122.7 to 108.95. Kyle was led by Jared Goff with 37.25 points, and he also got 23.3 points from Evan Ingram. Cheese's leading scorer was Devin Singletary with 25.5 points, but he left 34.35 points on the bench with Brock Purdy and Cam Akers. Cheese finishes the season in last place and will face punishment next season. Kyle, even though you will not be punished, you should still feel shame for such a poor performance after winning it all last year. Looking now to this year's championship bracket, we had the number 1 seed, me, taking on the number 5 seed, George. And while this one looked like it could be a close game right from the start, I was able to come away with the win, 161.65 to 128.55. Leading all the way for me was TJ Hawkinson with 40.9 points, leading all scorers in Week 16 and getting me $10 as a final Hanukkah present. I also got 33.15 points from Kirk Cousins and 23.9 from Austin Eckler on Monday night. George had a strong showing of his own, led by Gardner Minshew with 31.25 points. For a while, it really looked like Mustache Minshew was about to bring George into the finals, but it was not to be. George spent this offseason talking about how he was going to take it seriously this year, and he certainly did just that, coming 1 game short of the Team Daddy Championship. I will be playing in the title game for the first time in 5 years, where I will face the winner of Brett Narmenti. Looking at that second semifinal, we had the 3 seed Brett taking on the 7 seed Armenti. And after all the teasing, after all the jokes about how he had no shot, Brett got the win, 160.45 to 113.05. Led by Dak Prescott with 39.45 points, Brett also got 26.6 points from Derrick Henry and 22.3 points from Travis Kelce. Armenti was led by DJ Chark with 19.8 points, but falls in the semifinals for the second straight year. After pulling off the enormous upset over Josh last week, Armenti, you have every reason to be proud of your team. You came back from serious adversity to even make the playoffs in the final week as the 7th seed, and you played half your season without the perennial MVP Cooper Kupp. As for Brett, he and I will face off in the championship over New Year's weekend. Our only regular season matchup was one of my 11 wins this year, but half the team Brett had then is gone, and he did have Josh Jacobs and Amon-Ra St. Brown on their bye weeks, so this is going to be a whole new team and a very tough matchup for both of us. So what's at stake next week? For me, I carry a number 1 seed and an 11-3 regular season record into my first championship game in 5 years. I have 1 Team Daddy League win, and that was in 2015, but I'm looking to make it 2. For Brett, he finished the season in 3rd place at 9-5 and made some big moves at the trade deadline, acquiring Travis Kelce and Nick Chubb from Jed and getting Derrick Henry back from Cheese. Now, Brett is looking for his 2nd Team Daddy championship, but does he have the team to win it all? We'll find out next week. Keep in mind, next week is the final week to win money with our weekly winners. And on that subject, a big shout out to Big John for taking home $30 this week, having the highest scoring team in Week 16 with 197.45 points, as well as the highest scoring kicker in Brett Maher with 18 points. Anyone can win the final round, so just make sure to set your lineups. And boys, no matter the outcome of next week's game, it has been an absolute privilege to compete against each and every one of you. Thank you as always for watching. This has been your Team Daddy Weekly Recap. I am Daddy Dreidels, and I'll see you one last time next week. L'chaim, motherfuckers!